Welcome to our play, The Magic Bookshelf by Patricia Clapp. And when the prince tried the glass slipper on Cinderella's foot, it fit perfectly. Taking her hand, he helped her to her feet and said,
"I'm tired of being read to. I wish I could go out."
"You know you can't go out. You're just getting over the measles."
"I'm tired of having measles, and I'm tired of hearing about silly Cinderella. I wish I had real, live people to play games with. The only good part is the fairy godmother. I wish I had one."
"You'd have to be really miserable, just like Cinderella."
"I am really miserable. My measles hurt."
"Measles can't hurt. You're just pretending."
"I am not. I'm very miserable, and I'm suffering like anything. Please, fairy godmother, please come and help me."
Since you put it like that,
Who are you? Where did you come from?
I'm Tim's fairy godfather, and I came from, well, never mind where I came from.
I don't have a fairy godfather.
Now there's a ridiculous statement if ever I heard one. I'm standing right here in front of him, and he says he doesn't have a fairy godfather? Now Tim, just why did you call me?
I didn't know I was calling you.
You saying you're miserable and calling for me.
But Tim wasn't really miserable. That was just pretend.
Well, I'm just pretending too.
But I can see you.
Of course, I'm right here.
Then why'd you say you were just pretend?
What's the matter with you two? Don't you know that there's real pretend as well as pretend?
No, what's the difference?
It's perfectly plain. Real pretend things are fairies and wishing wells and magic and flying around the room. Pretend things are the horses on merry-go-rounds, marshmallow bananas, and things like that. Do you understand?
I think so.
Good. Now let's get down to business. What did you call me for? I haven't all day, you know.
He was tired of listening to me read, and he wanted something to play with.
Cinderella and all that dopey stuff about Prince Charming and pumpkin coaches. Everyone knows you can't ride in a pumpkin.
Well, I suppose everyone knows there are fairy godfathers, too.
Oh, sorry.
That's fair. So, you wanted someone to play with, did you? What's wrong with the storybook people?
I wanted a real person to play games with.
There you go again. Real, pretend. You still don't know the difference. I can see I'm going to have to do something about this. Let's see. How about Peter Pan to start with?
Start what with?
To start playing with, of course. You did want someone to play with.
I think Tim means he wants some real live children to play games with, like pirates.
You can't be Peter Pan when it comes to playing pirates. You do remember about him and Captain Hook, don't you?
No, I don't think I do.
You mean you've never read about Peter Pan?
Tim doesn't like books much.
Well, where do you suppose I came from? You read about Cinderella having a fairy godmother, and you wanted one, didn't you?
Yes.
So you called me, and I came. Here I am. Now, wasn't that out of a book?
Yes, I guess it was.
All right, then. Let's have no more nonsense about book people not being real. Peter, in the book. Come out and give our Tim a look.
Somebody call me? Peter Pan and Captain Hook.
At your service. It can't be.
And why can't it be?
Peter Pan and Captain Hook are some characters in a book.
What's he talking about?
It's a very sad case. This boy Tim doesn't believe in book people.
No.
That's right. He thinks that just because he reads about us, we're not real.
Pinch me. Ow! There, are we real or not?
You feel real.
I should hope so. Look, we are real. We're real pretend, and that's the realest kind of real there is. Are there more of you? Are there more? Are there more of us? She wants to know. Come on, old timer. Show her.
Well, how about...
Oh, I want to see Cinderella.
Cinderella in the book. Come let Sally take a look.
Cinderella!
Hello, Sally. You know one another?
We've never really met before, but Sally and I are old friends. She's always reading about me.
I read about you to Tim today, but I don't think he really believed in you.
This is terrible. Imagine having people believe in you. What can we do to prove you're really us?
I know. Let's have a meeting. Old timer, you stand there by the bookshelf and call some of the others in. Who's there?
There's Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, she's lots of fun. Ask her. I haven't seen her in ages.
Alice, in the book.
Do it the short way.
Very well, then. Everyone within Tim and Sally both look.
Miss Alice from Wonderland.
Cinderella, how nice to see you.
Master Jack, killer of giants.
Hi, Pete. How's Wendy?
Miss Dorothy from the Land of Oz.
Why, hello. For a minute I thought I was back in a cyclone saying, Woods into Oz. Is this a party?
No, a meeting. We'll explain soon.
Christopher Robin and Pooh Bear.
Are we in time for tea? Pooh is rather hungry.
Maybe later, Mr. Robin, not just now. Are you good riding hood or Russell, dear?
I can't help it. It's that dreadful wolf. He keeps following me. Will someone please tell me what we're doing here? I can't stay very long. The Queen is having another of her tea parties.
Now the reason we're all here is that these two don't believe in book people.
They don't?
No, they don't.
It all started when Tim wished I would appear and bring him someone to play with. And that's what I did. He wanted playmates, and I invited all of you to come play with him. Here we are. What shall we play?
That comes later. First, we have to prove to Tim we're real pretenders. Has anyone a suggestion?
What makes you think we're not real?
Well, when Sally and I were little, Mother and Dad used to read to us.
Yes?
They used to read about Jack and Jill and Peter Rabbit and Sleeping Beauty and all those things, or people. Mother and Daddy said that they were just made-up stories about made-up things, or people and animals, and that they didn't really happen, that they were fairy tales.
Of course, you see, there are some things grown-ups don't know. There are? Yes, and it's really too bad because they're very important things.
Like what?
Like what kind of noise grass makes when it's growing. And whether there really is a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow.
There is, isn't there?
Of course. But the most important thing they don't know about is real pretenders.
But I thought grown-ups knew everything.
They know a great many things, but some of the most important things they've ever known, they've forgotten.
You mean the pretend things?
That's right. They used to know. They used to know because all children are part fairies themselves. And fairies know all about pretend.
But somehow, as grown-ups get older, they forget. It's very sad, and yet it almost always happens.
Oh, I don't want to grow up and forget.
There is a way to keep the magic that pigeons and fairies know about.
Oh, how? Please tell.
Read. Read and read and read until you've stored up so much magic and make-believe that you can never lose it all. Read fairy tales and nursery rhymes and children's books. Read about animals that talk, like the white rabbit.
Read about toys that are alive, like Pooh Bear.
Read about fairy godmothers like mine.
Read my story about giants. Read about them all until they are a part of you that you won't ever lose. Read about them until they are your friends and playmates. Read about them until you can never be bored and never be lonely and never forget. Will it work? I said it would, didn't I? Am I right?
Yes, yes.
You can read about anything you like. Whatever set of friend you want, you'll find in a book. We're always there and we'll never go away.
Do you believe in us, Tim?
Oh, yes.
And you won't ever forget.
Oh, no, sir.
Now it's time for us to go. We're all very busy and must get back to our chores. Come along, everybody.
Goodbye.
Fairy Godfather,
Yes, Tim?
will you ever come back?
If you ever really need me, Tim, I'll be here. But I have a feeling you're going to be very busy.
Tim, were they really here?
Who?
Tim, do you believe they were real?
Oh, Sally, they were real pretend, of course, just as they say. And that's the realest kind of real there is. Now, don't bother me. I'm reading.